What's going on, everybody? We are back with a brand new YouTube video, and we are officially less than 2 weeks away from hitting the stage at Summer Shredding in Toronto. And also too, this is probably the last week of training at a high intensity, because next week will be peak week, which is when the fun really starts. I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited for the whole carb phase and kind of just like the check-ins and finally hitting that stage on Saturday. But before we get any further, let's get this video started and get this intro rolling. All right, so quick prep update here. Like I said, we are 2 weeks away. Did a weigh-in this morning, and we're at our lowest weight so far in this prep. As you can see over here, weighing in at 147.4 right now. So hovering around the 147s as of current. And with this being the last week, I expect to dip down even into the 146s because my cardio is still going to be consistent. In the meantime, nutrition is staying about the same. So been keeping my carbs at 150. My protein's been staying the same around the 170 to 180, and then the fats are always hovering around the 40 grams of fat range. But yeah, safe to say we've been on track, and this is exactly what I predicted where I'm gonna be at come show day or come hitting pre-week. Glad about that. Glad of how my posing has been going along as well. Been working on that a lot. So hopefully when we hit the stage, I execute it to the way I wanted to, and that it's accentuating everything that I've been working towards to. So aside from that, we are at the gym as well, and we are trying something different here. If you guys haven't noticed, got this little guy over here, this little DJI mic. So did a little bit of shopping over the weekend, got myself a mic for not only this trip but for future content as well. I feel like I've been putting this on hold for the longest time, and it does come in handy when you're at a gym where it's noisy and you kind of want something to not only record your voice but try to block out as much of the sound as possible, the background noise. So we are putting this to the test. We are hitting a shoulder day, my second last shoulder day to be exact. So that's kind of insane to think about. We only got one more shoulder day after this. But yeah, enough of me talking. Let's hit this workout. So what I like to do before every shoulder lift, do a little warm up with the rotator cuffs. Kind of just do about 10 reps on each side with each movement, just until I feel like my joints feel primed and ready to go. So I kind of just do pretty much one warm-up set before getting to my working. I kind of just usually go or follow by the 8 to 10 rep range. Again, just trying to maintain as much strength as possible. And I would say throughout this prep, my strength hasn't really gone down or hasn't taken a huge hit, which is kind of nice. Credit that to creatine. But that's kind of the goal. Anytime you're on a prep, you want to try to maintain as much strength as possible. That way it gives your muscles more of a reason to stay. So we're doing 80 pounds on each side for these shoulder presses. Let's see if my strength still holds. Haven't gotten down since the beginning of prep from this weight.
Definitely tough. All right, let's bump it down to 75s. Focus on getting the time under tension and just getting the volume in. We're 2 weeks away. So we just want to make sure we're just maintaining everything that we worked hard for. All right, let's do this. Definitely feeling the effects of being in a caloric deficit for so long. That one was tough. That one was tough. But I'm glad it's happening now as opposed to earlier, because we're almost done. So the strength drop off until today really hasn't happened. So the fact that we were able to maintain the strength for this long before a dip down, I'll take it. I'll take it. But I'll do 2 more sets of this and then we'll go on to the next exercise. Okay. Next up, we got the incline press. Now I do like to add a little bit of chest with my shoulder workouts, just because the shoulder for majority of chest workouts is still engaged somewhat. So incline press is one of them. It's a little bit of the front delt while at the same time kind of hitting the upper chest. So I like to sneak that in, and at the end of the day, I like training chest in general, so why not? Plus, men's physique kind of calls for it. Just like with any bodybuilding category, it's nice to have a good developed chest to, just make the package more complete. But nonetheless, it's one of my favorite movements. That's why I incorporate it to the shoulder day. Not gonna lie, my left side is kind of feeling a little sore. And I think that was the first, because of the first lift off I did with the 80s. But, oh well, we'll push through it. Let's go. Not too bad. Just like everything else, try to shoot for at least 8 reps, 4 sets. But we got 3 more sets of these. A little bit of the rear delt and back. And some rows. I think we're gonna cut it there with the voiceover, because honestly, I just want to get dialed in, get this workout done. So enjoy the montage.
Okay. All right, so I know this looks like the same day because I'm wearing pretty much the same clothing, but it is a little bit of a time skip, or I should say a whole lot. But basically, this is 1 week after that last video, or that last clip you saw me in the gym. So we are officially 1 week out from summer shredding, which is kind of crazy. It's right around the corner. And I'm just super excited that it's peak week now. It's the time where the fun begins, because essentially the work is done and it's kind of just like fine tuning the small details, just prepping yourself just to make sure you present the best version of yourself possible on that stage. And yeah, here we are, peak week. And to kick off things with peak week, I'll give you guys a little bit of an update of where I'm at right now when it comes to just my overall progress. But I'm at my lowest weigh-in ever in this prep so far. We hit 145.6 pounds. But yeah, 145.6, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Again, this could be a one-off day, just because yesterday I weighed in at 146, so my body weight could be just fluctuating a little bit. But I don't expect to get any lower than this, and which is a good thing because you want to make sure you're not losing any size leading up to show day. I'm so glad peak week's here because it's time to carb up. And what I like to do when it comes to like my peak week plan, essentially I always do like trial days, meaning I simulate the 1 day out, I guess, nutrition plan that I have for myself. So starting tomorrow, I'll be increasing my carbs, a little bit of my fats, and keeping my protein the same. Essentially, I'm kind of like resetting my my whole diet plan to back to where it was at the beginning. So higher volume of carbs. Fats will be just a tad higher as well. But mainly it's the carb intake that's going to change. It's going to be a lot more than what I've been doing leading up to this. So to put in retrospective, I've been eating 150 grams of carbs for the majority of this prep. So that's gonna get bumped up to 250 plus, and 250 was what I started with, but I think I'm gonna be hovering around somewhere between 250 to 300. I'm expecting 280 grams of protein at the most. Again, we'll see how it goes, but we're here at Walmart because I'm gonna grab a few things to help myself prepare for tomorrow, basically. So we're gonna grab some extra carb sources, and I'm gonna get some of the foods that I'm planning to get when I get to Toronto. Again, I would have to do like a little grocery haul when I get there. So I do have to have things that are not only the convenient side, I could just take it around with me, and anything that requires the least amount of prep time as possible, because I don't want to be like basically buying a bunch of groceries and having the majority of them go to waste. So we're gonna find what's convenient, what's easy, and kind of just go from there and test it out. So like I said, we're at Walmart right now, and yeah, we're gonna head in real quick, grab a few things, and then I'll show you the haul when I get back at home. But yeah, catch you on the next clip. All right, so we picked up a few things, and these are kind of just like the main essentials that I'm gonna grab when I'm in Toronto. So a lot of it's gonna be carb sources, because I do have a few of the essentials that I need already bought from before. But main thing when it comes to what I'm gonna eat in Toronto, I'm gonna try to do my best to kind of like eat the same stuff that I'm used to. Again, that's one of the toughest things that I kind of discovered when you're competing like internationally and you're like doing shows outside your own city. You gotta learn how to adapt to your environment, and you might not have everything that you've been using for a while. So you do gotta find good alternatives to kind of like combat that. For me, when it comes to the food, I do find myself having to adjust a little bit. So that's why I'm kind of starting. That's why I kind of like do this kind of like trial period before heading out to Toronto, just so that my body gets used to it and kind of see how it reacts to the foods that I'm gonna eat, and how it's gonna change basically the next day when I get a pump in and kind of just like see the full effect of it all. But a lot of the things that I picked up is what I've used in the past. So one thing I'm gonna incorporate back in are these rice cakes. Now, I got the flavored ones, the apple cinnamon, and macros on these are pretty good. So you got a good amount with 12 grams of carbs per rice cake. So it's a little bit higher than just the plain original, but that's what's needed because we do want to get enough carbs in our body.
And then we're also gonna bring back this oatmeal. Now I'm gonna do my best to try to find cream of rice out there in packets if possible. Again, I don't wanna end up buying a big thing or a big box of it all and not end up finishing it off, and thus I can't bring it back here. So we're going to try this oatmeal out. I got the maple brown sugar, a good amount of carbs to kick off the day, and so hopefully the digestion is good with this guy and that my body could like adjust to it in time. And then just for conveniency, the usual packets of rice. This is what I'm going to be using as my main carb source throughout these carb up days. So got a couple of those. Last but not least, we picked up some ready to eat chicken breasts. Now again, convenience is the primary thing when it comes to, so I want things quick, easy, ready to go. I don't want to be spending so much time like prepping and kind of like stressing out that I have to make certain like complicated meals. So we're trying to keep things as simple as possible. But other than that, other things that I didn't get, which I'll get there, will mostly be breakfast items. So got your egg whites. I might get chicken bacon. We'll see. Again, depends what I'm working with. Also too, like fresh fruit as well. I do like to have that in the morning as well. Plus yogurt too. Again, foods that my body has been used to all this time. So try not to do anything super crazy with it all. Moving forward, when it comes to at least this vlog, I think I'm gonna make this stretch out the next few days, at least until the day before I leave. And then from then on, we're gonna have like our typical one day out and show day video to end things off. But yeah, I think just to be able to manage everything and kind of not be super in a rush to make these vlogs, I'm gonna do like a few days worth of it. So yeah, if I don't record anything the rest of this day, you'll see the following day. So catch you on the next clip. All right, so I've decided we're gonna turn this into a full day of eating because it is the next day, and I kind of just want to run you through like all the meals I'm gonna have in Toronto. So the things that I bought yesterday, we're gonna put that to good use today and make sure we hit our macros. So just to recap, for today, the macros we're gonna hit will be down below. Around 280 grams of carbs, 170 to 180 grams of protein, and then we're gonna stick with the 40 grams of fat and kind of keep it within that range just so that we don't fluctuate too much. You wanna keep it, if anything, the main goal for today is just to make sure I'm increasing the carbs up so that tomorrow when I do my workout, it'll give us the full effect of what my body would possibly look like when I step on stage on Saturday. So we're gonna begin it off with meal number one. I already got that prepared, and as you guys saw before, I did pick up the oatmeal. So this is actually 2 packets of the maple brown sugar oatmeal that I got yesterday, and I combined it with 2 servings of peanut butter to make sure I get all my fats in as well. And then right beside it, we got the 1 cup of egg whites with chicken bacon in here, 2 strips of chicken bacon to be exact. Still debating on if that's gonna be part of what I'm gonna eat in Toronto, the chicken bacon part, but for sure the egg whites will be implemented. If not, definitely gotta look for an alternative. But I'm super curious about how my body's gonna react to the oatmeal because it's the first time in like a long time I'm eating oatmeal. So, and 2 packets worth of it, which is kind of crazy. So not sure how it looks like on screen, but it is a lot of volume compared to the cream of rice that I normally intake. So we're gonna try it out. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna work out right after this too, so hopefully I don't feel too bloated and it doesn't upset my stomach or anything like that. So I'm gonna eat this and then we're gonna skip the workout clips because there's already one in the beginning. So this will be just all my meals within the day. All right, so I kind of goofed. I left my camera at home, so I'm using my phone camera right now, so hopefully you guys could hear me pretty well, and hopefully the quality is decent. But we're having our second meal of the day, and the way I'm planning this out, I do want to get all my meals done before a certain time. Again, I'm trying to simulate what I'm gonna do in my one day out, or basically one day out. So what we have here is basic chicken and rice.
So I did use the new packet of rice that I got yesterday. Main difference is the serving size is basically double with what I'm used to. So we have one serving of that, and then we got about 150 grams of chicken breast as well. And then to top it off, got the ever so clutch rice seasoning here. So pretty big meal, trying to get this done as quickly as possible. So yeah, it's meal number 2. All right, so for meal number 2, we got the exact same thing, but just lesser serving. So I used a smaller packet of rice, and we only did 100 grams of the chicken as well. Had to adjust it a little bit just so it fits my macros with the rest of my meals with the rest of the meals I have throughout the day. So this is my next meal, and then I believe I have just one more after this. So like I said, trying to keep things quick, convenient, eating in larger quantities. But yeah, this is my next meal.
All right, so it's a little bit later in the day. Last meal to cap things off for this full day of eating. We got the ever so clutch crave meal over here. So this is the Chipotle chicken. Now snagged this up a little earlier, just after I was done work. But this will cap off the macros I have for the day. So I will show you guys the totals in a bit. One sec. I have my FitnessPal over here ready to go, but this is the totals I have for today. Hopefully you guys could see it and it's not like inverted or anything, but we are at 183 grams of protein, 292 grams of carbs, and 42 grams of fat. Now, my protein and fats is where I want it to be. Carbohydrates is the main one that I'm keeping an eye off, because this 292 is a lot higher than I've been doing all prep long. Even my maintenance, when I first started this prep, I was at around 240, 250. So I'm definitely exceeding it by a lot. So we're definitely gonna have to see how this all takes effect tomorrow when I do my shoulder workout. I'm already kind of thinking I might go a little bit lower than that, just based off how heavy the meals felt. But again, that's why we do this trial. That's why we get it done earlier than later. That way we can make adjustments along the way. So if anything, depending on how it goes, I might bump that down to around 270 even. So just a little bit over what my initial maintenance calories were, or my maintenance carbs were. But 292 is what we're ending off of. I'm hoping my body absorbs all these carbs really well, and then I get a good pump tomorrow, and kind of like I said, a preview of what show day could particularly look like. So that's what we're rolling with. This is my last meal of the day. So we're probably gonna skip to the next day and pretty much just cap this video off. So stay tuned. All right, so to wrap this video up, it is the next night. I am currently packing all my things for tomorrow morning when I leave for Toronto. But I did want to show you guys a little something that I got at the beginning of this prep, but I wanted to save it till basically now for the reveal. And I'm just gonna set this camera down here. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna hold it. It is the board shorts I'm gonna be wearing on stage. And honestly, it's so nice, and I can't wait to rock it and kind of just like show it off when I do my routine. But I'll set this camera down here so I could show you guys a little bit better. But we are going a little bit of a different route. Now, typically with all the shows I've done, I've always stuck with athlete board shorts, but we are stepping outside the box a little bit, and we are trying out something new. This is it right here from Manifest, their new board shorts. And for those that don't know, the guy who created Manifest is an athlete. He actually coached a CG at one point, I think a couple of years ago, and he actually did a line with them with the athlete board shorts. He had his own colorway. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, his name is Alex Toplin, and he's an IFBB pro who pretty much been to Olympia a few times. And honestly,
the shorts that he made definitely paying off. So I snagged up this guy right here. But here's a little bit of a closer detail. It definitely fits very similar to the Alphalete board shorts too. It's very, I won't say tight fit, but very like snug when you wear it. And I'm not surprised that it kind of fits that way, because obviously Alex and Christian are really good friends. So wouldn't be surprised if CG gave him like some tips or a little bit of a template on how to go about creating his own board shorts. So yeah, those are the shorts I'm gonna be rocking this Saturday. Gonna repack that, and that pretty much concludes this video. The next video coming up after this is basically anything and everything Toronto and show day as well, check-ins, whatever festivities we do out in Ontario. Y'all see it in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the series so far, and if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Yeah, it's show week. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace.